Now that we've got water on all the cotton, the weeds are getting a little bit too excited, which means it's time to pull out the big guns. Got the old high cycle out of the barn. We actually didn't use this rig even one time last year. Long story short, we ended up borrowing one of our neighbors who's got one that's twice the size of this thing. But I'm really excited to get this thing up and moving again. We got to take off all the tips, make sure all the tips and the filters are clean. We'll take off the main filters, clean those out. This boom cable was all frayed out, so just got it replaced. We went ahead and ordered a second one too, just because if you look at this one, it doesn't look like it's going to make it much longer. Lastly, we'll get some water in the tank, make sure it's all spraying fine, and then we'll grease it up and should be good to go. The very first tip that I took off, yeah, this filter is a little caked up, so the rest of these are probably going to be just as fun. So far, they've all been pretty nasty, so I'm dropping them in some water, let them soak while I'm getting the rest of these off, and then we'll clean them. So I'm actually going to go ahead and throw a little bit of water in the tank, just because after seeing how dirty those filters are, I bet there's quite a bit of gunk in the lines too, so we're going to make sure to flush those out real good. The big filters didn't end up being too dirty, so now we'll fire up the pump and clean out these lines. The spray tip filters are all clean, and I kind of sort of blasted my face with water multiple times while doing it. It doesn't taste very good. So far, they're all looking pretty good. There's a couple that have been a little slower starting out, but it's because there's still air in the lines. But now that that air is clearing out, they're all spraying pretty evenly. One small problem. It's now the next morning, and we're gonna replace this 90 that's cracked that we found yesterday. And then we're slowly but surely getting this tank all filled. It'd be pretty nice if we had a different, faster way of doing it, but I guess this will work for now. Took me a little bit, but I finally got this garbage 90 out. Safe to say this new one went in a little bit faster than the old one came out. If you've ever been around a sprayer before, you'll know this is everyone's favorite part. Greasing it, woohoo. There's like 15 grease certs from there to there, and there's a couple out in the boom on that side, couple out in the boom on that side. And that's just the actual boom. Then we'll grease the actual sprayer. There's not that many, but it's still not fun. It actually isn't too bad. We only have like half the amount that some of the other guys have on their big sprayers. Phone's probably gonna fall. Oh, didn't catch it. Got everything all greased up. There ended up being a couple underneath there I had to climb up and get, and then we had to grease the actual pump for the sprayer. But they're all done now. And now that we're a little later in the morning, the winds have already picked up, so it's a little bit too breezy to spray with the sprayer. We'll come first thing in the morning, see if the wind's just right, and go from there. It's not too windy to start spraying with the cultivator though. Took the fertilizer pump off, took off all the hoses that ran to the injectors, put the Roundup pump on, and got all of our sprayers hooked up. The other thing we changed with the cultivator is we took these discs off the front. For the rest of the season, we're just going to run just a sweep there and a sweep there, and then the bombs. So far this morning, we've had 0 wind, which is good, and it's not supposed to pick up till after lunch, which gives us a pretty decent window of the amount we can spray today. This first full tank is going to be quite the trial. Pretty much every high cycle has a little computer that you tell it how fast you're going and how much you're wanting to put out, and it sprays that much. Well, as you can see, there's not one here. Apparently the story goes before we bought it, it went bad, and they're really expensive, and we just never replaced it because you don't need it. It's just really, really really nice to have. Normally we shouldn't have to figure out or change anything around, but since we're doing it on our drip fields, they're a little bit softer, so we've got to go a little bit slower, which throws everything off. Because the absolute last thing I want to be doing on a Saturday morning is finding a soft spot in the sprayer and sinking it and then having to pull it out and killing a bunch of cotton in the process. Doesn't exactly sound fun. This is what I mean by not wanting to sink it. You see, it's a little bit soft. We're definitely not going fast, but everything's working so far, so that's good. Small problem. I'm no mechanic, but I don't think oil's supposed to be coming out of there. But it's looking like coolant got on the fan, got flipped around, got dirtied up, and then it came down right there looking like oil. Stay tuned, we'll be back. So I might have been kind of right. After looking at it just a little bit more, might have blown the head gasket. We put a new hydrostat in it 2 years ago. Last year we didn't use it at all. And this year, 30 minutes into using it, the head gasket goes kablamo. Idiot! We've got those sprayer tips pointed right here at the base of the plant just so it can spray any of these weeds up next to the cotton that the cultivator can't get. You can see there's a hard line right there in the middle of the screen. The cotton on that side was planted, I think a couple weeks before the stuff on this side. This earlier stuff's starting to look pretty good. It's getting good size to it just after this first irrigation. There was even a few spots down at the bottom of the field and then more towards that side where there was rocks. And it wasn't looking super strong, but after that first irrigation, it really kicked that cotton into gear and it's starting to fill in pretty good. Now this is some good cotton. This field is actually the first field that we planted this year and we just got done cultivating it. It's looking pretty good. You can see it's starting to put on fruit, some right there, some here, a little more down there. If we can keep it wet, it's gonna do good. While we're waiting to figure out what we're gonna do with the high cycle, I'm back to on the four-wheeler and spraying some more weeds. Yeah, it might be time for some more duct tape. What's been kind of crazy this morning is you can see there's a fire up there on the mountain that way, but this morning, all the smoke blew through the valley. Today, besides spraying weeds, we gotta go get the fields that we just cultivated ready for water. We just use these same Roebucks until the weeds start to get bad. That's because we don't really have to shovel because the water just naturally follows where it went last time. It's been so hot all day long, I just had to slip the boots off and soak the old Lamborghinis in the water. Oh, it would be such a shame if I was to fall off these boards into this nice, refreshing, cool water. No, what's really going on is we're watering a couple of fields up here and we're taking the canal turn. And there was a gap between the bottom of the canal and the bottom of the boards. So we had to finagle some boards around and stomp them down. It's not very often you get paid to swim at work. We finished this field up earlier this afternoon and now we're almost finished with this one. The whole field's pretty much done except for about these 5 rows right here, which is really annoying because it could take 20 minutes or it could take a couple hours. It's probably gonna take a couple hours. Yeah, so it was definitely on the longer side, but we got to switch over to this field and we'll lose the water, I think 5 in the morning. I've got some good news, I've got some bad news, and some of it's just news. We'll start with some kind of good, kind of bad, mostly good. The water pump is bad, but that's better than the head gasket being blown. The new one should be coming in here later today or tomorrow, and we'll get that thrown in so we can go spray. But we're trying to get water started sooner than later, so we're gonna go spray some of it with the hooded sprayer, and then whenever we get the high cycle back, we'll go finish with that. Now for some bad news. There's definitely a skunk in our shop. My dad was asking me earlier today, you didn't happen to leave the shop door open for a long time, left unattended? And I said, no, why? He said, there's definitely a skunk in there. I was like, did you see it? And he's like, you don't need to see it. And definitely correct about that statement, because the second I open those doors, no, I mean, it's not that bad yet, but it's 105 degrees outside and there's no way out. So when that thing shortly becomes not alive, it's not going to smell very pleasant. I think we'd make pretty good hemp farmers by the amount of weed that we grow. Man, the rest of the field is actually worse. The good thing is these weeds aren't very strong. Just a small shot of Roundup usually kills them pretty quick. Yeah, so that whole next day shipping thing for the water pump, they lied. It's now officially been a week since we ordered it, and it just barely came in yesterday afternoon. And we're not exactly in a rush anymore, because we ended up having to water those fields we were trying to spray, because they were going to burn up if we didn't water them in a hurry. So we were able to tear out the old one. It took a little bit. It was kind of a bear, but it's out now. It definitely needed replaced. Just a little bit of corrosion in there. It's fine. All these hoses that were connected to it were hard as a rock, so we had to cut those off. Gonna have to replace those. Then we went ahead and flushed all the coolant lines and flushed out the radiator. Yeah, it kind of needed it. Definitely needed it. Check this out. Like a top. I thought there was lots of weeds last time we were spraying, and I mean since then it's been 9 days and we've watered it, so there's a good few scattered here and there. There is one positive in this equation though. We did water it, so that means the weeds also got water, which means they're more healthy, more open, so they should take in that Roundup better and die faster. Spaceship. Just wanted to make sure nothing over here broke. I mean, it rarely happens. Never. We only ended up with 2/3 tank left from last week's go round, and so we burned through it pretty quick. We're filling up again, and in the meantime, these two wings have big filters here and here that go to all the lines, but this back section doesn't have one. And so while the Roundup sat in the tank all week, it built up some garbage in the lines and some crap came into the filters. There's only 7 of them right here, so I'll just hurry up and clean those real quick, just to make sure that we're spraying as evenly as we can. So do you want the bad news first? That's all we got. Filled the tank, went out to the field, did one pass, and what do you know? That temperature gauge starts flashing again. I get out to look, and sure enough, there's some coolant coming out of the excess hose, the coolant reservoir. So if anybody knows of a government grant that's just handing out money to buy a new sprayer, because yours is not spraying, let me know. Shoot any of that info over to this guy. I guess one good thing is we were able to finish this field. Our 3 drip fields, this field, the one after this one, and then the one after that, are the only 3 short staple fields we planted this year. And they're also the only 3 fields that haven't been fertilized yet. And with our Pima cotton, we put fertilizer down with the first cultivation and irrigation, and we're going on round 3, almost round 4. So we're gonna hit this heavy with water and fertilizer here in the next week. So hopefully it'll just take off and start loading up with some fruit. I guess other than that, we're just still waiting around for our monsoon rains. We had that one last week, but nothing super consistent or nothing too crazy big yet. That doesn't mean we don't have hope though. It's coming. Yeah, I think if you enjoyed this video at all, maybe consider subscribing. I don't know, I'm not telling you what to do. Just consider it. Just down there, click it if you want to. Hope everyone has a great day, and see you in the next one.